So obviously you're here on the purchase order financing page. So what we're going to talk about here on this video is the purchase order financing that we can establish and the financing of these small business purchase orders and contracts with the government. All right. Again, welcome to Govbidpro.com. My name is Mike Menahem. I'm the founder of Govbidpro and the creator of Govbidpro.com. Right now, here in summer of 2024, we're getting into the purchase order financing, factoring, lines of credit, loans, and that's what we're going to talk about today on this video. So we're going to talk about small business financing. So number one is, what are we financing? What are we financing? So what we're talking about is getting a contract from the United States government, and that contract says that we have to deliver product and or service. We have to deliver 3D printers, laptops, monitors, TVs, medical devices, what have you. We've got to come up with the cash to buy the product, to deliver it to Tampa, Florida, or Miramar, California, and then we invoice the government. We have to deliver first. We have to deliver first. And then we invoice. And then we invoice the government. So we've got to finance the purchase from the distributors. Okay? So we're going to get either a purchase order or a contract. Now, what is the difference? I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but a purchase order is a one-time purchase. It's a purchase order to buy these markers, and they want 5,000 of them, and they want them delivered 30 days ARO, 30 days after receipt of order, and that's it. Now, a contract may be a 5-year contract. It's a 5-year contract to provide cybersecurity. Let's move on. Number two here is you are able to get supplier and distributor and or supplier and or distributor credit. So let's say I'm buying from a very popular IT distributor and I'm selling 500 laptops to the government, and I go to CDW. Very popular, love working with them. And I've got a line of credit over here down at the bottom under C. I've got a line of credit with the distributor. I've got credit at the distributor for 30 days, net 30. Okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to drop ship from CDW to the US government down in Tampa, Florida, MacDill Air Force Base. Now I invoice the government and I get an invoice from CDW. I'm a reseller. And then I owe CDW $90,000 and I get $100,000 from the government. So I make $10,000 in the middle. Okay? So I did get $90,000 from the distributor as credit. But what if that doesn't happen? That's what we're here for. If that doesn't happen, we are going to go to B over here to purchase order financing. Purchase order financing. What we're going to do is we're going to finance, we have financiers that will finance your purchase order for an interest rate. So let's take that $100,000 purchase order that you have for those laptops. And you don't have the credit at the distributor. So we're going to finance this $90,000 purchase by you, the reseller. You're going to buy for 90 and sell for 100. So the financier is going to say, we need to make some money on this 90,000. Maybe it's 92 or 93,000. You still make 100,000. So you're not going to make the spread in the middle of the 10. You'll make a little bit less, but at least you'll get your purchase order financed through PO financing. Now let's talk about factoring. Factoring is very similar, and the way that works is the factor will pay the distributor or the labor or the placement that's going on. We'll talk about that in a second. And they'll pay the $90,000. They will invoice the government. That's the difference. The factoring is where the factor will invoice the end user, the 100,000. So they might invoice for 100,000, but they'll give you 92 or 93,000, and you're out. and you have to deliver the goods, and then they'll invoice. So the question is, who's doing the invoicing here? Okay, so that's the difference between purchase order financing and factoring. Okay, there's more videos below that talk about the differences, but we're just scratching the surface here. I do want to talk about lines of credit because they're very effective. Okay, what happens is, with this $100,000 deal that we have over here, we've paid on a net 30 to the distributor $90,000 from either borrowing or cash or from a line of credit. So we're waiting for the government to pay us back. So that's how we do it, is we've got net 30 terms with the distributor. At day 31, you've got to pay your distributor. And we'll talk about labor in just a second. Day 31, you owe. So that's where a line of credit comes in handy, where you've gone through the 30 days, now you dip into the line of credit or loan, and you pay the distributor the $90,000, and then you wait for the $100,000 from the government. And hopefully they pay on time, which sometimes they don't. But it's a safe purchase order. It's a safe purchase order because it's with the government. It's with the United States government. It's like gold, all right? Difference between line of credit and a loan, you may have what's called a HELOC. That's a home equity line of credit. It's like a credit card. You're dipping into the credit, you use the credit, you pay the $90,000, you wait for the $100,000 from the government. A loan, you take out the loan, you pay the $90,000, you owe the loan. And that's it. After you pay down the loan, that's it. With the line of credit, that line is still open. Again, we talk about more of the products between PO financing, factoring, lines of credit, loans, and distributor credit. Finally, I just want to talk about credit in general. That's very important. Make sure you make your payments on time. These financiers are going to look at that. They're going to look at history. They're going to look at deposits. They're going to look at different reasons why you need this loan. If they see a piece of real estate, why aren't you borrowing against the real estate? That kind of thing. Your credit's very important. Credit's very important. And that's personal as well as business. And when you're just getting started, your personal credit, your FICO score, that's important. Okay? If you've got any questions, email me at mike@Govbidpro.com. Don't forget to check out our 14 on-demand videos to my left, top left here. And below, we talk about the different avenues here: the purchase order financing, the factoring, the lines of credit, and the loans. And we also have a section about merchant cash advance, new item. Thanks for joining us here on our website. We'll talk to you soon.